There's been a lot of talk lately on Microsoft and Xbox taking an L on multiple fronts, from head-scratching pricing decisions, PR blunders with repricing services like Game Pass that supposedly was to better cater to you, the customers, and with Microsoft leadership giving Xbox an ultimatum to put more emphasis on bigger margins and profitability. Yes, the Xbox division must achieve a 30% profit margin. The evil empire had bared down on Microsoft's game development department, or maybe it's just Satya Nadella who might be an AI android in disguise. You tell me, nothing is safe, not even Age of Empires. Team Age of Empires, that's World's Edge, has been relatively lucky to not have been on the receiving end of things, considering they've had other studios within Xbox laid off, projects cancelled. Things seem relatively normal with Age of Empires. Or is it? There is a lot at stake here for World's Edge and the Age of Empires community. All looks pretty good on the surface, but we all know what they did with the surface, don't we? They ruined it. Well, the player base for Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition continues to be strong. There is new content in the works for both AoE 2 DE and Age of Empires 4. So regardless what you think of the variant civs, I know you guys hate them, there's something new for these games throughout the year. So support in the grand scheme of things has been great for these two games, and I do foresee some growth, however small it is for these games. But it's not like there has not been any impact at all. Earlier this year in January, World's Edge had to announce they were cancelling a DLC they announced previously for Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition.
In late 2024.
And in fact, they were just sunsetting support for that game in a way. But you could make the justification that AoE 3DE just didn't have a large player base to warrant an extended support in terms of new content, at least in comparison to AoE 2 and AoE 4. It is the weaker of the series, and the margin of profit for a smaller audience, well, would not be as enticing for big old Microsoft. I really feel for the lads at World's Edge. I genuinely feel bad for them because, that wasn't a decision they made or wanted to make. I believe they would love to support the games they had developed and would rather stick to the ideas they had for it. Cancelling things was probably not their idea. We have to understand that the whole resurgence, or rather focus development on the franchise, on the Age of Empires franchise, working on the definitive editions for all the Age of Empires games and DLCs for them. Then we had the development of a brand new Age of Empires 4, which I think many of us didn't see coming, These amazing stuff that Microsoft did for the franchise were done before the current climate. This was before Microsoft gobbled up Activision Blizzard and became the biggest gaming company in the world. Before the mandated use of AI by top leadership company-wide, and before the Xbox needs to make 30% margin ultimatum. So why would Age of Empires and World's Edge be safe from the eyes of top leadership at Microsoft? There are no sacred cows here. Will Microsoft increase the price of DLCs for these games? I don't think they have increased the price of existing DLCs, but they did release the Three Kingdoms DLCs for AoE 2 DE, which was $20 compared to most other DLCs being at $15. So I'm not sure if they justified this because of there being more content. I can't verify this, but it is rather interesting, this DLC release in 2025. But the Chronicles Saga DLCs, which they just released the Alexander the Great campaign, are still $15, so they could be keeping this with the old price to not cause controversy, since it would be too obvious of a price increase. I wonder if we'll be seeing a shift into normalizing $20 DLCs for Age of Empires moving forward. Considering that Microsoft thinks Xbox as a premium service, which they would hope could be positioned at premium pricing. There were also rumors of a new Age of Empires game based on ads for new roles at World's Edge for Unreal Engine developers. I did a video about this, speculating what it might be, but I wouldn't be too sure now if this project will even come to light. If Microsoft needs to cut something to make their balance sheet more imbalanced towards profits, cancelling this could be as easy as any other game cancellations they've done, or worse, close an entire studio. They did this in the past with Ensemble Studios, ironically the original creators of Age of Empires, and there's information out there from former Ensemble developer Sandy Peterson, who claims that Ensemble was working on a Halo MMO which got cancelled and the studio shut down by Xbox boss at the time, Don Matrick, to protect his own bonus payout, because releasing a risky game could lower the profit margins, and the top bosses can't have that, allegedly. But ladies and gentlemen, we should be wary about such moves by Microsoft to nickel and dime loyal customers and fans of Age of Empires. We should be hyper aware of price increases, anything that could 1. lead to less players, or 2. negatively impact the community actively playing the game right now. And speaking of community, I think even tournaments have been affected. I doubt Microsoft actually gave financial sponsorship to major tournaments like Wololo, which is very much a Red Bull thing. I mean, Microsoft, the evil mega corporation, may not see the value of such things. Although some people within Microsoft, World's Edge, absolutely do see just how amazing and special it is again, No shade to World's Edge. I think they've done their best keeping these games alive, and where they have faltered, I think they have tried their best within the scope of work that they've been given or resources that they have. Microsoft has made some great decisions in the past on Age of Empires, but the good times, ladies and gentlemen, may come to an end. Microsoft giveth, Microsoft can absolutely taketh, and nothing comes in between the bonus payouts of top Microsoft bosses. Anyway, tell me in the comments which Age of Empires games are you still playing? What's your favorite mode? Or are you into the competitive scene? Do you play it as a competitive player, or do you just have fun watching competitive matches? Share with us in the comments. I did a video on the Age of Empires 5 rumors recently and speculated a few timelines and themes they could explore in Age of Empires 5. Watch that video over here. Thanks for watching and farewell, noble friends.